What's going on, YouTube? I've got a new deck for you today. It could potentially be the most toxic deck there is. It's two archetypes that I would say are universally hated as one of the worst decks to play against, and that is Runick Eldlich, or I call it Runelich. Essentially, the goal is use Eldlich as an engine to gain a little bit of advantage, slow the game down, block attacks, removal, actually really good removal for control. If you're talking Conquistador, Huaquero, and Eldritch is actually in hand effect, it has come in handy quite often, where like it fills in the gaps for Runick. So basically, Eldritch can win you the games, but he's mostly there for defense and control. So they use a field spell or something, pop it with Conch. They use, they have some kind of graveyard effect, Huaquero. And then he blocks attacks. He's a big body. He's recursive, yada, yada. Also, it works well with Runick because, like, let's say you use one of the extra deck monsters like Hugin. Hugin effect. Discard one of the Eldritch traps. Discard Eldritch. Gain more advantage that way. Eldritch and his traps kind of want to be discarded. So you're not really going that negative when you use Hugin's effect to grab Fountain. So that's kind of why they work well together. Eldritch is really good just body blocker. And then once the Runick engine gets going, it's pretty much game over. I mean, once you have, your draw 3 every turn, especially with how powerful some of the Runick traps are with destruction, negation, especially I've noticed my favorite is probably Runick Destruction, which destroys spells and traps. It hits field spells, continuous traps, which are very popular right now. So yeah, let's go into the first two games. The first one is against Labyrinth. It's a quick one, so we'll just get through it. They go first, and they must have bricked really hard because they set 1. I start off with Cursed Eldland. This is the Ash bait. Don't ever Ash this if you're playing against Eldlich. It's not a good Ash target. Thrust into Tactics. I cannot use it because I set it because he doesn't have a monster. But it was just a bad target. I shouldn't have done it. I don't know why I did it. Activate Allure. Then I activate my Flashing Fire so I can banish one of their cards. Summon Hugin. Hugin discard Eldlich. Grab Fountain. Activate Fountain. Activate Eldlich. Send Eldland. Eldlich for defense. Go into SP Little Knight with Hugin and Eldlich. Banish the EEV, Eradicator or Epidemic Virus. Would have actually hurt me quite a lot. He could call spell or traps and it would still hurt me. Almost entirely my deck are half spell, half traps. So either one would have hurt quite a bit. So I'm glad I hit that. He activates Torby to set. He must have just drew it because I don't know why I wouldn't draw it on his end phase of last turn. Summon Eldritch in end phase so I can use Sanguine's next effect, his other effect on my turn, my end phase. He welcome Labyrinth into Lady, which Lady usually is a very powerful card, but he has no trap set, so she's not protected. So I send Triple Tactics Thrust with Eldlich. He then transaction rollbacks his Welcome Labyrinth so he can summon Ariana. Or is it Ariana? Yeah, I think it's Ariana. Maybe it's Ariane. I then SP Little Knight to banish his Lady. So then, because I know when Ariana's on the field, he could potentially, he could potentially get a card on the field to protect his Lady. So I just wanted her off the field. Then I summon my Eldlich. Then he uses, it was Ariana. Ariana effect to grab Big Welcome Labyrinth. And then I Runick Dispelling. He drew a card so I can make him discard a card and banish a few cards. I hit the perfect one, Big Welcome. Hit Big Welcome out of his hand, which is perfect. Runick Allure activates. Runick Fountain activates. I shuffle 3. He then tries to use Big Welcome on, I assume, one of my cards, but he must be relatively new to Runick because you need to have a level 8 or higher to target your opponent's cards with Big Welcome's graveyard effect. So That's something to remember. I've actually made that mistake a few times before. I've played quite a bit of Labyrinth. But Eldlich is my Golden Lord. He is probably my favorite monster out there. He's the Golden Daddy. And while Labyrinth is cool, it'll never be a replacement for Eldlich for me. So that's why I'm trying to find the most playable deck for Eldlich, which is, in my opinion, either Runick Eldlich or Horus Eldlich. Stun Eldlich is just, in the current format, way too slow. The fact that you have to set all your cards, there's so many destruction effects right now that it's just, they wipe your board before you even get a chance to use something like Skill Drain. So we will go to the next game. All right, this one is Runick versus Manadium Bestial. And this was actually a good game. It wasn't quite so one-sided like that last one. All right, start with a Runick tip to grab Fountain. I notice he has Primitive Planet Reichphobia, and he drolls me. So I already know it's something to do with Scare Claws. He drolls me, so I can't draw this turn. So I just set Fountain, set my 2 cards, keep Flashing Fire and Destruction in my hand, so then I can activate Fountain on my turn, so I can start drawing. He Lubellians, and I immediately Solemn Strike because Lubellian gets him a Bestial, and I don't want him to get a Bestial. Bestials are extremely powerful. I just don't want to deal with it. He then summons Fenrir. Fenrir search Fenrir. Goes into Peaceful Planet Calarium. Before he can get its effect, I Runick Destruction. Gets me 5 more banished. He uses Visa of Starfrost effect, targeting Kashtira Fenrir. Now, if you didn't know, with Visas and a lot of cards like Visas, they need to destroy their target for them to summon. So here it says, let's see, you can target one monster you control with different type and attribute than this card. Destroy that monster, and if you do, means that it has to destroy the monster. If it doesn't summon. So I immediately Flashing Fire the Fenrir, so the Visas fizzles. It does not summon itself. I then Fountain for 3. Draw my 3, I get another Flashing Fire, which is always good. Flashing Fire is a very good card. He goes Fenrir, target Runick Fountain. I summon Eldlich, knowing that the Fountain's already gone. Not a big deal anyway. I run 2 Fountain, 2 Eldlich, so if he banished one, it wasn't that big of a deal. Eldlich to body block the Fenrir. And he's just he's trying to get control of the game. I have nothing, I can't do anything. All the stuff's in my hand. I can't use Flashing Fire. Runick Fountain's gone. So he's essentially trying to get 2 more monsters in defense mode. So now he has 3 monsters in defense mode on the field. He can use Reichphobia to pop Eldlich. Again, that's not a big deal. Eldlich does not care to go to the grave. He comes right back. He goes into a Chaos Angel, which I just realized how dumb this guy is. He Reichphobia'd my Eldlich, which is good because he gets to come back stronger than ever, when he could have just Chaos Angeled him and banished him and be done with it. I just realized that. So he really messed that up. And also, this deck does not care about Chaos Angel. Half the deck are spells, which he is not immune to. And the other half are traps, which he is not immune to. He's only immune to monster activated effects, and he can't be destroyed by battle. So Chaos Angel is essential. The only reason he should have summoned Chaos Angel was to banish my Eldlich. That was the only reason he should have done that. And he messed it up. So I Flashing Fire into the Chaos Angel just to get rid of it, and he Manadium Reframings, which negates. He controls a Synchro monster, so it negates. Eldlich into Conch, or Sanguine into Conch. Set a Haquero so I can get Eldlich out of the grave and summon him. So now I have protection. I have a Sanguine, a Haquero, and a Conch. So I'm sitting pretty. He Astralouds trying to pop Eldlich, doesn't work. He then Reichphobias trying to pop Aquero, so I summon Aquero, banish Lubellion, so he can't get it out of the grave. He would need to have a level 6 or higher dragon on the field, but just in case he did, I didn't want to deal with it. And then he can't do anything against Eldlich because he was too big at the time. So I conk to destroy the Chaos Angel. Go into Link Spider. So now that I use Link Spider and Eldlich, SP's effect is active on summon. So I banish Vicious Astrolaud. Set Runick Destruction. I still have a Sanguine. And no, I don't think I could not have attacked because I used a Runick card. I don't know why I set the Sanguine. I shouldn't have done that. Just a waste. So he made a mistake. He knows... this guy made a few mistakes. Holy cow. So he tries to banish my Eldlich with Magnemite. He knows for a fact that I have Sanguine. He saw me set this one. He didn't know what this one was. But he saw me set a Sanguine. If, again, this one needs to banish the card it targets or else it won't summon. And he's targeting a monster in my grave that he knows, or at least should know, I can get out and dodge. So I just Sanguine, and it fizzles. So now he can't banish it. Or wait, it didn't fizzle. Oh, no, it did. It fizzled. He tribute summoned. That's right. He tribute summoned his Lightheart so he could get Magnemite on the field. Magnemite didn't even get its effect. He just did it so he could get Lubellion on the field so he could set, I believe, yes, regained. On Lubellion's effect, banish it and SP Little Knight. Then he tries to regained, which I destruction. By this point, I can't believe this guy is still here. Like, I've got 15 cards gone, 10 in the grave. I feel like I have this I don't have a ton of cards, but I feel like I have this under control, and I just pulled Skill Drain. Like, it's game freaking over. Like, it's game over. I can set another conk. So if he has any, like, another regained, I can pop the Reichphobia. Like, yeah, now that I have Skill Drain set, this game is pretty much over. I don't bother using it because I can still use SP's effect to maybe banish, like, the Reichphobia. I believe it can banish. I think it does. No, sorry, it's just monsters. I can still use her effect to banish a monster if I want, so I can keep dodging Lubellion if he tries to, like, do stuff. So that's why I did that, or haven't turned on Skill Drain. Got to go through one battle phase, and you have to declare your battle phase when you use Runick cards before you can battle the next turn. So okay, he's doing Manadium stuff. I don't know all that much. He drew 2. I think he's got to put 1 at the bottom. And then here I just Skill Drain because it's like, I don't want you to have effects. So, and I just let him destroy the SP. At this point, SP's kind of worthless. I just set Runick Destruction just in case he tries activating Reichphobia, so then I don't have to waste the conk on it. At this point, I'm just letting him do whatever he wants because it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, he goes into Shang Ying, which Shang Ying's a very powerful monster if it had effects. At this point, I'm not worried about anything. I don't think he really has back row removal. I haven't seen anything, and I don't think their monsters really have back row removal. While Skill Drain is online, the only thing he had was the Reichphobia, which I have destroyed. So he kills the Eldlich. I Sanguine. He ashes. I conk because I just want to protect myself from a lot of damage. 500's nothing, so it's not a big deal. Runick Tip into Flashing Fire so I can destroy one of his monsters and banish a few of his cards. And I'm going to destroy his Shang Ying since that's the most powerful monster he had. Set the Evenly Matched so I can Eldlich back onto the field, and now he cannot do anything to me again. Like, as you can see, when games, like I couldn't get my Runick engine online, but the Runick cards still are not worthless. Like Runick, like all these Runick cards have done work. Like I've destroyed monsters, I've destroyed spells and traps, I've destroyed, they also deny him cards. Like I'm banishing cards as I do this. So even without the draw engine, Runick cards are still pretty powerful. And they're powerful enough where Eldlich, as long as he's, still around, he slows the game down enough, especially when you have skill drain. With skill drain, it's like, it's game. Like, dude, you lose. Like, what are you doing? I have a conk, so I have an interrupt still. You have no effects. And most of your cards are gone already. So that's kind of the whole game plan of this is I'm denying him cards by banishing them. And I'm slowing the game state to where I want to play. I interrupt him and control the game state with Eldlich spells and traps and Runick spells. It's that simple. If I can get the Runick engine online, it's like even more. Like it's even worse. Like you're not going to freaking win if I'm drawing 3 every single turn. It's just, because when you're drawing 3 every single turn, that means you can get more likely get into your floodgates like skill drain or goes or whatever you're playing. I know floodgates have been hit quite a bit, and the only floodgates I play in this deck are 3 skill drain and a single Gozen. Everything else are just Eldlich engine and Runick engine. That's pretty much it, and maybe a few good staples like Thrust or whatever, evenly match, stuff like that. And then you can always side in like Droll or Lava Golems, whatever your matchup is for. But that's what this deck really is trying to accomplish. It's just slowing the game state down. You're trying to control what they're able to do, deny them resources with Runick, and then if you can get Runick running, it's game over. I mean, unless they can which it's not even legal. Never mind. I mean, even anti-spell doesn't do anything. The only thing that really stops Runick is like Imperial Iron Wall, stuff that prevents banishing. And that even slows down Eldlich because Eldlich needs to banish stuff for his his spells and traps need to be banished to keep his engine online. So unless they're running like Imperial Iron Wall or some way of just stopping you in your tracks, like if they have enough, like if they go first and they have enough like negation effects or interruptions and you can't get either of your engines online, obviously you're done, but that's every deck. So, and is this the best Runick variant? I don't think so. But I think it might be the best Eldlich variant, and I like Eldlich, so that's why we're here. Gives himself another Peaceful Planet Clarion, which again, this is a stupid game we're playing right now. He saw me set Conquistador. So I will pop that, bro. Like, you will not get that search. It's never going to happen. And literally attacking these spells and these traps, these Eldlich traps, are pointless. It's pointless. Like, my Eldlich engine's pretty much dead at this point, but it was enough to where he has 7 cards, and I'm rocking 22. Like, I know my Runick cards are in here. That's all I need at this point. But, yeah, usually attacking the... Like, I get why you want to get rid of them, because I could go into, like, extra deck monsters with them, like, let's say Constellar Pallades, if I had it in my extra deck. But destroying them gets me more advantage. Like, it gets me a Sanguine, or Sanguine gets me another Conch or Haquero. Like, it gets my engine moving. Like, that's the whole point of the Eldlich engine, is just grinding. So, yeah, this at this point in this game, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Like, Curse Elden really doesn't do anything for me at this point. I think I just grab a Haquero so I have some form of interruption if he tries to use his graveyard. But that's really the only reason I did that. And it was also to thin the deck. So I didn't want to draw into Haquero on my next turn. So I just used Curse Elden to get that one out of the deck, because I think that was my last Haquero, which means like my Eldlich engine, other than Eldlich itself, is like fully gone. He goes into Astrolaud to attempt to destroy Eldlich. It doesn't work because obviously skill drain's on the field. He's going to attack Eldlich and destroy him. And before he does that, I'm going to Haquero, get rid of his Lightheart, because I know Lightheart, I think, has a revive effect of some sort, or there's some way you can get it out of the grave, so I'm just like, get rid of it. And then he destroys both of those, which is, again, fine. Eldlich is coming back stronger than ever next turn. So I banished 2 with Smiting Storm. Summon Eldlich in defense again because I used a Runick card, so I can't battle. So I have to initiate battle, but I can't battle. He finally gets a Bestial online, banishing my SP Little Knight. Again, SP's way out of the game at this point. I don't give a shit about SP. Flashing Fire his Astrolaud, so now he can't destroy my monster because he doesn't have a monster strong enough. And he has a single card, which just so happened to be a Druis Worm. And I was like, oh god, is he going to be able to link this off or something, or somehow get Druis Worm off the field where he can get rid of Eldlich? And then, like, because if he could send Eldlich with Druis Worm, I'd be done. Like, that would be it. But I guess he didn't have enough. He didn't have anything in the extra deck or any way of removing it. And that's it. I draw my fountain, and I just go to end phase, and he tries to draw, and that's game. So that's Runick. That is the first 2 games of 4 I have recorded right now. I've just been playing Omega quite a bit, and it's been really performing for me. I would say probably 75-80% win rate. And I've been very, very happy with it. If you want to try it out, I will be putting out a deck list video here in a little bit. Definitely subscribe, like the video if you want to see those videos, or if you want to see that deck list. I'm working on another 2 games video that I'll have out soon. Yeah, and then leave a comment if you have any suggestions for Runick. Let me know. All right, peace.